Welcome back to the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. We're just a few weeks away from AEW coming back over the pond to the United Kingdom. I'm your host, Adam Cousins, and as always, when it comes to AEW, I'm joined by my co-host, Mr. Dave Robinson. Evening, Dave. How are you?
Hey mate, really good, thank you, bud. Looking forward to this tonight.
Yeah, me too. How's your holiday quickly? All going well?
Yeah, all good, mate. Yeah,
Ec-
it's flying by a bit too quickly, but yeah, we're enjoying our time down here.
Excellent, as holidays do. But anyway, enough of us. Let's get into our guest. Our guest at this time is obviously recovering from an injury, which we'll discuss in a minute. But he is a big, big star in AEW, and come no bigger than this man as well, Mr. Brian Cage. Afternoon, Brian, I believe it is over there.
Yeah, it is. It is just barely afternoon just started. So literally just started. But it's been a good day so far.
Good, good, excellent stuff. We're enjoying what we call summer over here in the UK. We get a couple of rays of sunshine every year, and we try to enjoy that as much as we can. Brian, big thanks for coming on. We really appreciate your time this evening. Brian, look,
Sure.
we know that you're injured, and we know, but how is that recovery process going for you, and how is the injury healing up at the minute?
Actually, I just posted something on my story the other day about it because there hasn't been a lot of updates I've posted, and that's because I was like, well, not a lot of positive updates to give. The 'Cause I got a double knee surgery, so the left knee started kind of go backwards a little bit. Um, I think realistically for it being my dominant leg far too soon than it was ready or able to. And then we had to do some things, course correct. I went to Columbia, I got a bunch of stem cells. That's slowly being resolved, the issue we had there. But man, currently my right knee now all of a sudden wanted to join in the party. I guess felt left out. So uh, it's been having its own little bit of difficulties lately. So it's been real frustrating. Whenever everybody gets hurt, like when you're an athlete or anything, especially, you're down. You want to be back to 100%. You want to be performing. You want to be doing what you can in the gym. Yada yada yada. I was so positive. I've never been so positive in my life. All throughout when this injury happened, throughout the first it was good being home. I took it in strides, and I was like, I'm getting better. I gotten a little lackluster where I'm over it. I'm over not being able to just do a lot of simple day-to-day things with ease that I definitely thought I should be doing that and much more at this point in time and how long the recovery's been. So it's real frustrating, but um I don't know. It's in not our time, but I guess in God's timing, and everyone keeps saying, "Hey, just relax." You're right there from a big turning point. So, I mean, all we can do is keep doing what I'm doing, and just wait for some not good news, but just wait for a positive change.
Hmm. Well, hopefully that will happen soon, Brian. It's always never nice when wrestlers get injured. I mean, Dave, you had an injury yourself that took you out of your job for many, many years. It's a bit different to Brian's injury, but you kind of feel that same way with the frustration, can't you?
Yeah, I suppose Brian is just wanting some answers and wanting to know what the plan is, what the recovery is, what kind of time frames you're looking at. How have AEW you been with you? Are they? We hear a lot of positive things in terms of when wrestlers are out and injured, in terms of how supportive the company is. Is that has that been the case for yourself?
Well, yeah, no, I got a little get well care package from the first surgery when I went out from AEW. Too, I see a little list of injured people, both WWE and AEW, and a couple different times. And I noticed my name is on the list. I go, what do you guys think I am? I'm not out there. You guys don't know that I'm hurt? Now, in fairness, my injury actually happened. The initial injury happened at a independent show,
Mm.
um, which derailed. But and then I elected to get the second surgery done on my right knee because it was a operation I was going to get. I kept postponing, and in my head, I was like, all right, if I could just get through, like it was like last October. I was like, all right, maybe I'll just wait till all in this year, and then I can go out and get the operation. And then when this injury happened, and I was already out, I was like, oh shoot, I'm already out. F it, let's just get both of them done right now. Which has been I was trying to be proactive and save time, and but it's almost been kind of my detriment now. I think getting them so close together. I feel like it's kind of the reason why I've had these little bit of setbacks and slow down in the healing process. So kind of regret it a little bit. I mean, in a perfect world, I would have chosen done it a little bit later, but I got 2 dates as an option. One was far too soon, and one was way too late. So I went with sooner
Yeah.
than later, and now we're just dealing with that. I haven't given anybody a timeline just because I don't want anybody to know any timeline at all.
Yeah, that's probably the best way of looking at it, especially when you come big surgery like that. But look, again, we wish you all the very best with that recovery. We hope that we get you back in that ring
Thank you.
very soon, where you do your best. Brian, look, AEW coming back over to the UK. It seems like a second home for AEW. We've been here at 2 All-Ins. We've been fortunate enough to obviously attend them all. We're going to Forbidden Door. This is a real big thing for AEW because they've obviously been to Mexico, they've been to Australia. For a company that's like 6, 7 years coming into their seventh year, that is no mean feat to have the success that they've had internationally in that length of time.
Yeah. I think just the overall success in AEW in general is no short feat because everyone, right? So they compare WWE with AEW all the time because those are the two big,
Mm.
conglomerates in wrestling. So I understand why you would do that, but in comparison, as far as exactly, 6 years to 60 years, like it's not even, it's really unfair comparison in that regard. So all in all, what AEW's been able to to do and deliver this fast has been really really extraordinary, and yeah, to do multiple international shows and some people want to critique certain things, but about that, but like, the only way to grow the brand is to go out there and force it to grow and take some gambles, take some shots. So I'm ecstatic to what they're doing, and I'm bummed that I won't be here there for this trip to the UK, but I have no doubt that the show will be phenomenal. And actually, I'm actually almost more looking forward to the chance because you fans over there always have the coolest chance, and the fact that it'll be in an arena, of a stadium this time, I think it'll almost louder or clearer way. At Wembley Stadium last year, which was dope, but a lot of people don't realize too when you're down there in the middle on the floor it does not sound at all close to as loud as it does on TV. Like the camera more the whole crowd, where it's so far away and it's so open, it's almost like escapes you as a performer, or it just takes a while to like revert back to you. So it's crazy because it's such a massive crowd, but it doesn't sound nearly as loud as you would hope and what you would expect it to be, especially compared to hearing it on the speakers from the TV.
Yeah.
Yeah. In regards to performing in front of those kind of crowds, Brian, one of the things I really like about AEW is the times when I know that, as you said, you're always going to get the comparison with WWE, but I like it when AEW does its own thing. And these shows, the last few weeks that we've seen for the Aragon Ballroom, they've looked like a lot of fun. From you as a talent's perspective, have you got a preference in terms of those smaller, intimate crowds, or is it like the big shows in Wembley, or do you like that variety?
So I mean, when it comes, so we've done some smaller shows as far as like bigger arena shows, but they're like a little smaller, so they're scaled down where you have more of a sold out capacity, and then two, when it's more filled, the crowd is more lively. It just is. The more space you have, like it could be 6,000 people regardless, but if there's 6,000 people in a 7,000 seated arena, 1,000 people in a 10,000 seated arena, the six and the seven is going to be louder just because they're more contained. They're all next to each other. They all feed off each other's energy. It's like when I would go to an independent show when I first started out, and like the independents would be so dead, there'd be nobody there. Nobody would sit in the front row, even though it's right there, readily available, because it's like the pressure's on then, right? Because there's 40 people in the crowd. It's like, oh, I got to cheer, I got to be involved. Oh, I'm embarrassed. But if everyone's doing it, then you're like, oh yeah, and you're more into it. The energy's there. So I feel like when we have those smaller venues, it gets the crowd rowdier. Now, when it comes to the smaller venues like the ballroom that they did and a few different residencies, they have a cool look and a cool setup, and there's some like convenience sake for them. But ultimately, this is just my opinion personally. I prefer it in the normal arenas, not only so you're not in the same place the whole time because you start to kind of kill the town, but I don't know. I just feel like there's And again, it's just for me. There's more of an illusion that it's you're on a bigger stage in the big arenas. Even though it's still on TV, it's still being watched by all the same amount of people. It's still, AEW, still the crowd. It just creates the illusion that it's bigger than what it can be like when we're doing some of the smaller shows at the residencies. And even then, those can still be fun and okay. And maybe I don't like it as much because I don't like performing in the same place over and over and over and over again. Because
Mm.
again, it loses the mystique and just kind of feels more, paint by numbers, so to speak. And again, that's just me.
No, that's cool. I thought I've agreed, Dave. I enjoyed those last few shows. I think they've been great. I love visually as well. The visual look about it was really really good as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
I want to quickly talk, Brian, about the big man evolution in wrestling. Now, me and you are about the same age. You look a lot better for the 41 than what I do. But when I was growing up, when I was growing up in wrestling, and you were the same age, the big man was always kind of same. There was always the same. It's kind of a big, impactful couple of, he would always kind of be like a Andre the Giant, and the baby face would always try and beat him. But nowadays, yourself, Will Hobbs, Lance Archer, a couple of others, you're pulling out the moves that you see people like the Young Bucks and other people do. And I remember, I'm pretty sure it was Paul White said in an interview that when he once pulled out a drop kick when he was wrestling, he went backstage and a Hall of Famer, big man, maybe from Death Valley, would have said to him, "You're never doing that move again." I just feel like when you guys do it, the moves like the Young Bucks do, it is more impactful and it just shows that there's more to life than just being the big guy. Is that how the big guys evolve now?
So, a lot that I could add on to that. So, like originally too, like we first started, like first of all, like in like the 80s and the early 90s even, there was no big guy. You know what I mean? Like everyone was a giant freaking 300-pound bodybuilder looking dude. Like obviously that's what most people think of too. Like, oh, he's some big guy. That's even for me when I was first getting on this with pro wrestling. People would see me come out and look jacked compared to everybody else. Like, oh, great, here's some, an official quote. Somebody said, "Oh, here's some Batista with no tattoos that doesn't know." But then they see me go in there and I wrestle. They're like, "Oh, wait a minute, hold on a second. This guy can actually move." Um, and yeah, I mean everything evolves, right? I mean, because even then, the cruiserweights now compared to the cruiserweights back in the day, obviously do way more stuff. But yeah, everything evolves. There's more styles, and I feel like I was one of the big turning points for that too. Because obviously, I didn't consider myself a quote big guy. I just figured I was a jacked up body guy. But I was like, I got stuff. I want to do all this stuff. I want to be able to wrestle, and I used to give out a lot of dives and aerial flips and tricks like candy. But then once people start to like know you can do them, you almost start to take it back a little bit, and that way you don't give it out, just like. And also, like, I'm wrestling a lot of. Does it make sense for me to moonsault on top of Darby Allin off the top rope, or just pick him up, slam him? But I do feel like you need to have more versatility in your tank rather than just being a one trick pony, and then it's on when to use it. The drop kick line was actually from Hulk Hogan in WCW
That was
when
it.
Big Show did the missile. And he said, "We're not, when you're doing that." And yeah, if you look, Big Show did some pretty athletic stuff back then in the day. Because I've talked to him several times about it as well. And he would be like, "Oh yeah, you shouldn't do that. You shouldn't do that." Now, so one of my critiques, this is gonna be my favorite ice cream too. Certain people get mad, whether it be fans, people in the back, whoever, when somebody, will just say myself, does something uh aerialistic or athletic that I shouldn't be able to do. Now, I get the point that just because you can do it doesn't mean you need to do it. But if I hit the ropes, I front dive onto my feet over the top rope, I'm literally over the top rope with my feet. There's no tricks about it. That's just me doing it.
Hmm.
And then that can get kind of shit on because, oh, I shouldn't do that. What are the little guys going to do? However, when you have somebody else that's extremely small, right, when it's just a guy jump to make it look like Superman, everyone pops huge because this little guy just threw this big guy. So I'm like, so when it's not at all for that person to do that, you guys think it's, but when it's not because I shouldn't be able to do it, but I literally just did do it on my own. I feel like that's so. Um, the I feel like you want to be like, oh, moves. Well, then little guy shouldn't be doing big guy moves. You want to keep it fair. Now, I don't really think there's little guy move, big guy moves. That's just I'm just the hypocrisy with that one.
Hmm.
Also, constantly people go up and sell stuff. Jungle Boy lines the snot out of Sam is crazy inside out, flippity pipe. Well, what's he gonna do with my clothes on him now? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like
Yeah.
there should be that thing. There should be ways that you could bump hard, bump heavy, like everything aside from that one move. Now, when somebody 200 pounds clothes on you, you, how do you always just thought like I was always told when I was coming up in the 90s, a lot of people would be like, oh, you should hit people hard. What? Why? He goes, oh, because you're, a monster. You go out there, you should like kill people. I go, I mean, I should have to literally kill people. They should just bump and sell that more for me. I have to freaking hit them that I can, sure, but like I should have to give them the E to bump hard for me. Like, hitting them really hard, everything because of who's hitting them. But anyway, kind of all left and right on your question, but there has been an evolution, obviously in wrestling in general, and yeah, the status quo pretty much doesn't get you very far. Even then, like you just if you're that these days, you're just probably a massive individual. You know what I mean? You're going to
Yeah.
be some 7 foot tall guy, whatever. That's the Great Khali kind of situation. But generally speaking, you have that cool it factors mind. But then you look at all types, and their career and their lifespan doesn't last that long because there's not a whole lot you can do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Well done.
It's interesting some of your comments, Brian, because we spoke to Lance Archer probably around a year ago, and I know prior to your injury, you formed the Murder Machines with Lance as part of the Don Callis family. How has that been for you? Two guys that, as AEW fans, we've seen you with the company for a long time. At times, we wanted to see more of the likes of you and Lance. How has that been for you, being part of that team?
Oh, it's been great. Lance and I are really good friends. We have been for a long time. Actually, tried to pitch it back in 21 to be a tag team, and we pitched again this past year, which ended before, and then it really culminated by accident. Even though we've been trying to do it because they needed a tag team to work against uh, O'Reilly and Adam Cole,
Hmm.
and they wanted to have somebody from the Don. We just get 2 new people, like to be that, and we went to somebody else. And then they asked me if I'd wanted to do it, and I said, "Oh yeah, that works out great," because I have been talking about trying to tag for a while. And then that match never even happened. Like the storyline went. So we really formed just to get to this one match that never happened, and then we just became a team. And I did think we're getting a lot of good momentum, and there was a lot of stuff left. I think that we could have done, and then, yeah, then unfortunately with this injury that didn't help things. But it was going good while it was lasting, and so keep with Lance regularly. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully we
Just
don't.
to kind of follow up on that, Brian, you said about pitching it. How easy is that in AW? Is that kind of encouraged in terms of the talent? Working on your own creative and being able to make suggestions and talk to perhaps,
Well,
I don't know whether
I
that's
yeah, yeah, I think it's always good. Doesn't I mean 9 out of 10 times you're probably not gonna get what you're asking for, but I mean it's always worth trying to just put ideas out there, obviously, because there's this, it's like the squeaky wheel gets the oil. If you don't say anything, then nothing's ever going to change. But if you have a good idea, yeah,
yeah,
they'll listen to it, take it into consideration, and see if it works. Again, it means happen, but it's. I think it's better to go in there proactively and be like, hey, I was thinking about this. What do you think about this? Or what if we did this? Or what about this? Or what, So you might
yeah,
get 20 before you get a yes on something, but it's always just kind of keeps like, they're thinking about something else, and because you pitch something, they're like, oh well, Brian was talking about this. So what if he did this with that? It can just get the ball rolling or the engine turning. So.
cool.
Yeah, hopefully that will come. We'll see it again when you're back. That's for sure. Brian, we're going to move back to Forbidden Door now. it's a very unique pay-per-view. It's one that's not so much been done recently, other than AEW, really. We've seen it up and now starting to happen when obviously AEW brings together New Japan, and obviously the British wrestling scene may get a bit more a bit more of an outlook on this one. We've seen a couple of English guys on Ring of Honor, Michael Oku recently, who's a big standout. Do you watch much
Yeah.
British wrestling at the moment? Do you see much? You keep an eye on what's going on in the scene?
I know. I mean, I with wrestling in general, I mean, especially on the independent scene, if you will, I'll just catch, whatever viral moment or like what, I follow different pages and different people. So I'll see like different highlights and stuff. When I do a lot of my wrestling video, and unfortunately, I haven't done cardio for several months right now because of my knees. So there's a lot of wrestling I haven't been watching.
Yeah, sure. That's the thing. It's British scene is on fire at the minute. There's a lot of great talent out there. As I said, Michael Oku being one of them. But with Forbidden Door, if it's for example, someone in England that's never been to wrestling, going to come to AEW and watch Forbidden Door, what are they going to be in for on that Sunday night?
I mean, I think every pay-per-view from AEW really delivers, if not over delivers. And then you throw in the fact again too that that we're going to be across the pond, and you guys are always a tremendous fan base in general. But then obviously it's done everything that happens, so it makes you guys even more of an energy. It's a treat, you know what I mean? It's a once in a while thing. So the energy from the lover, if you're not even a wrestling fan, it'll get you into the mood. And then, as I said, the AEW pay-per-views always deliver as far as the match quality. It's second to none. So I obviously they've only announced several matches for the. I feel like sometimes they take too long to start to announce the pay-per-view matches. I'm glad they have already announced several.
Mhm.
Um, I don't know how much Forbidden Door. So there's going to, I don't know, I've said not on the road, as you just said, like, oh, it would be neat if you brought in some more European talents there.
Mhm.
Because obviously, like, all the New Japan talent work with us kind of regularly too, and obviously CML has been there a lot lately. Um, and there's nothing like really announced that's Forbidden Door esque. I would love to see them work with companies unexpectedly to make it, because that's the whole thing with Forbidden Door. It's like, oh, it's, all these unwritten rules where like, oh, they get to wrestle each other on this one stage. And then obviously with the success of uh, the partnerships, with like NXT and TNA, for instance, and everything else, I would look for, like, yeah, if we were to do stuff with, MLW or NWA or whomever, I think that'd be cool, especially just an unexpected surprise. And then to fit that Forbidden Door, hashtag that of what it means.
Mm, definitely so.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to Forbidden Door, Brian. My kind of introduction to wrestling was via WCW. We've had a lot of conversations with wrestlers about the Monday Night Wars and stuff, but I was a WCW fan before I was a WWF fan. One of the guys we've had on,
Uh-huh.
Diamond Dallas Page, had obviously a close relationship, such as yourself, with Chris Kanyon. Just wanted to kind of ask you about Kanyon. It's somebody that I don't think gets enough credit in terms of his innovation and what he brought to wrestling during that period. Um, I just wanted to kind of ask you really on kind of your memories of Chris and whether you agree on that front that he doesn't get the credit that he deserves.
Oh, 100% he doesn't. I feel like more in recent years, it's been brought up more about how much he's done and how he has got the credit. So I feel like it's almost given him some added, credibility there. But yeah, he
Yeah,
was so awesome, such an innovator. It's funny too, you said you were a WCW fan before WWF because I feel like that's so rare.
yeah.
But yeah, watching stuff, always a standout, favorite of mine. Even when he was no one of these special more drops. He was so Mortal Kombat aspect of it all. But that's what would draw me so much to him because every time we wrestle, not only would he do something cool, something innovative, new, different, but what he also doesn't have credit on, watch how well he makes everyone look. Not only overall, every move. like every bump take, the way he'd sell punches, the way he'd do it, like there's little things where everything just like it's almost like a signature offense when he's just taking someone's move. Man, look how he bumped that. He looked like do like, and I remember I had myself that as well. Even my time back in the day in W developmental, I remember when people would want to try like or whatever the ask if I would really take it because I would always try to amplify and make them move, which obviously gives you a different like if somebody back you doesn't bump that great or whatever else, they could take a move that normally would look cool. And if the person doesn't, then obviously if a move's all right, but someone makes it look incredible like Canyon would do all the time. Now you just made that like average move look stand out. It's like, oh, what was that? So yeah, I think it's enough credit. I says many times helped out so much. Rumble movie, he in 10 different cruiserweights. He trained a celebrity that was in WCW. So like at least backstage in the office, they knew how talented he was and that he had something. And I wish to be brought more to the full TV. But yeah, I mean, he was not so great in the ring, but also nice to like, obviously, we became really good friends, and I have that bias with him. But even with him, just as a fan, I've never, I mean, I've never seen an interaction. Not only me, but the guy really. It was truly incredible, and I remember that made my night so memorable. I'd already the reason why I was like, all right, I want to be able to be in this position to make another person's night as memorable as Kane just made mine.
Yeah, exactly.
Awesome, man.
You said Dave was a rare breed. He really is a rare breed. Not much rarer than him. Brian, we're going to start to wrap it up now. But go ahead. Thanks for your time. I just want to quickly run off the card quickly that's currently on Forbidden Door for our fans over here in the UK. We've obviously got Tanahashi's last match. That's to be confirmed who it is. Answers on the postcard. I would love Eddie Kingston to come back and take that opportunity, but I don't know how far.
He's been out for two, so who knows?
Yeah, hopefully. I'd like to see it. Eddie Kingston's my favorite wrestler. Dave, I've still got to rob that T-shirt that he threw at you at All In off of you when we see each other. Okada and Swerve is a match that's probably going to, I reckon, well, we know what we're going to get with Swerve now. We're going to get some incredible action. Okada and his character. Brian, I have to quickly get on this. Okada's character. Obviously, when you're in Japan and you wrestle in Japan, you see a different side of Okada. But this kind of Okada we've got in AEW with that comedic element to how it maybe he doesn't even know he's doing it, but it just brings that all round, I think, just excellence to what he does.
Oh yeah, no, it's definitely grown a different aspect of him for sure, and it helps read because you got to think of a lot of the general audience of the AEW probably knew who Okada was already coming from New Japan, but for the more here and there fans and for the newer fans as well, there's a good chance I don't know who Okada is, and I feel like that's a better way for him to stand out and be memorable to the newer audience that may not be familiar with him from New Japan.
Yeah, he's been brilliant, and Swerve's doing his best work probably ever. I think he's been great over these last couple of years. Added to that,
Swerve's been on top of it for sure.
yeah, Swerve has been brilliant. I've loved it with him and Hangman Adam Page and everything that he's done has been awesome. I'm surprised they've not been arrested, to be quite honest, with the stuff they've been doing together in their feud. Another one I just want to quick talk to you about: Timeless Tony Storm. If ever a character, when wrestling is about playing a character as well, she has been. I don't know. The last 2 years, I don't think there's been anyone better at doing the complete package than Timeless Tony Storm.
Oh, it's been amazing. I remember when she first started doing it. I mean, everyone backstage loved it, and I remember telling her multiple times, like, "Oh man, you're like my favorite persona right now by far." And this is when she just barely started doing it, and it was so cool, so different, so unique, and like now she does it so well, and she's been doing it for so long. Where like that feels like that is just her, like that it's not a character anymore. It just feels like that is her, which is it's so crazy to see her ever not be like that because you're so used to her only being like that, and she's on like 24/7. So, but yeah, that's been like probably the best as you said two character in wrestling just in general for a long time, and she's so, uh depth into the AEW roster with that, and I feel like that her match too was Athena's probably, if
Mm.
not, definitely one of my favorite wrestlers. Period. And I was stunned victory from All In actually, because I didn't know, and Athena winning the was my biggest surprise. I was so stoked that she won.
Yeah,
I didn't go right to this, work somebody else first, and then go to Athena, and you just build it longer.
mm,
But I'm really anticipating this match, and I know it'll deliver because and Athena being my favorite women's wrestler. That I'm hoping this is. I would hope, and this might be my favorite women's match the AEW may have ever had once it's over.
wow, that is, and it's going to have to go some to do that because they've had some incredible women's matches as well on the card.
Sure.
Another one on there. Mercedes Moné defends one of her millions of championships, including the Rev Pro Championship that she's got at the moment. She's going to be in a fatal four-way with England's own Alex Windsor. Come on, Windsor. Bring it home for us against two talents at the moment. We don't know, one from CMW, one from Stardom. That will happen, I suppose, as the weeks progress on Dynamite. And the match that I wish that you and Lance could have been in, Brian,
Yes.
Forbidden Door, against the Hurt Syndicate. That's the one.
I wish I know it was supposed to have happened at the beginning of the year, and then it was teased to at least to us too that we would be on the short line. Just nothing was ever in place to happen again. I know there's a lot of rumors that we were going to work them, and then I got hurt, but it was like they wanted to work with us, and obviously we wanted to work with them, but there was nothing else on the. Like, I mean, if you look back, like after we got Snooker out of our victory in the match against the Outrunners, which would have saw us face her syndicate at the Revolution pay per view. We there was nothing ever after that ever followed up for us to ever work again. That's what we thought we were going to do was we keep like building it and teasing it to grow the feud better to have the payoff match, but we never got it. So yeah, it's a bummer too because Shelton and Lance have a long history and
Mhm.
they're good friends, and then I'm cool. Bobby and I have from Impact, and I thought that would have been a great little deal that we could have had a couple good tag matches, some good singles matches. Uh, and I guess I mean it could still always technically happen when we come back, but it's also hard to even ask
Mm.
like, oh, what do you think about doing this or doing that or wrestling this person when you come back? It's also hard because I don't know where certain situations, storylines, or what when I come back. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, is her syndicate still tag team champions when I come back? I have no idea. So
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to wait and see. That's the match that I would have loved, but it's not going to happen this time anyway. But Forbidden Door comes your way Sunday, August the 24th, bank holiday weekend. It's a great weekend to have for AEW to come over to the UK. Myself and Dave
let,
will
let,
be.
let me ask a random question
Go
because you're
on.
reading out the card. Who do you think Adam Page faces at Forbidden Door?
Ooh, Hangman. Doesn't well, I would bet my money that a certain Max or Jacob Friedman might want to cash in his opportunity, right?
I don't think he'd cash in on it like in an announced match though like that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm just I've just been curious on that aspect because he has a rematch with Molly. Page is over. And he has his little storyline with Max, but especially for Max's character, I don't see him cashing it in and
Mm.
having the match announced, and that's the pay-per-view match. If anything, I'd see him, cashing it in after
Yes.
Adam Page's match at Forbidden
Yeah.
Door. But yeah, I'm just curious on because to be honest, I don't really know who he works at Forbidden Door at this point. So
I tell you who I'd like from the UK scene. I tell you, I'll give you a name from the UK scene that I would love him to face. Luke Jacobs is a man that I would love Hangman Adam Page
okay, okay,
to face. But if you're looking for somebody with because Luke Jacobs is a bit like a hard hitting guy. So if you're looking for someone with a bit more of maybe a different side of it, maybe even to someone that's already debuted in Ring of Honor, which would be Michael Oku. I think that would, from a match quality aspect, that would be great. But I'm sticking my neck out on Luke Jacobs, Dave. You want to answer
Uh,
the question?
well, I was thinking Zack Sabre Jr. What's he up to at the minute? I know he kind of he's with
no,
New
yeah,
Japan long
he's been at
term.
every Forbidden Door too.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
He's been at every Forbidden. I was like, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that match, Zack Sabre Jr. Hangman is something that I would be very, very, looking forward to seeing. So perhaps we could get that.
We should one thing that we need to do is make sure the arena's locked down, because I think Moxley and Darby Allin is one of the matches that is soon to be announced after what happened on
Oh,
Dynamite
yeah, for sure. Yeah,
last night,
that's gonna
and
happen.
I don't know how we're going to keep them in the arena on that one, but we'll find out. But tickets for Forbidden Door are still available. Just go to AXS over here in the UK. Myself, Dave, and the rest of the Hitting the Turnbuckle team will be in the Pepsi Lounge, so we'll be watching it from a nice little venue seat in the O2 Arena. But if you want to watch Dynamite over here in the UK, for you UK fans, the best part about it is you don't need a subscription to watch AEW over here in the UK. All you need is a television that connects to the internet or a smart TV, or it has Freeview. You can watch it on ITV4. Dynamite is on Friday nights. Collision is on Tuesday nights. If you're in America and you're watching, I'm sure you know that AEW streams on Max, or it's on TBS, Dynamite on a Wednesday, and Collision obviously on Saturdays on over there in America on TNT, but that sometimes changes. So watch out for the changes if you're over in the
Yes, I
States.
know it does.
It certainly does indeed. But it's always, you are honestly, if you're a wrestling fan and you want to see, it's where the best wrestle for a reason. And I don't think there's an argument that can be held against that from what we see from AEW. They always deliver amazing, amazing quality TV programs. Brian, it's been quite frankly humbling for us to come and talk to you. We really appreciate your time this evening. I hope the injury heals up. We want to see you back in that ring. And I just want to remember something that I vividly remember just before, when you F10'd Darby Allin on the stage. I think it was on a Dynamite.
Yes,
He literally
that,
just,
on the that was the beginning of the Mogul Embassy. Yeah, I know. Like, and it's funny too. My very first move I did in AEW was I caught little Darby off the ladder in the ring as
he
well.
did.
But yeah, that kid, man, he's a savage. He is a savage.
He is a He is a savage of what he does. David, look, we always, when we do AEW, I always give you the signature sign off. You've got your Kenny Omega thing. So do it for us this evening, please.
Oh no, I can't do Kenny Omega when we're in the presence of Brian Cage. Quite frankly, I think the best way to sign off is a who better than Canyon, who better than Cage. Thank you
There we
so
go.
much for tonight, Brian.
Yeah, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Brian. Thanks to everybody else. We'll see you all soon on the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast. Until next time, everybody, buckle down, stay safe, and goodbye.